Good evening, I am Nick Miller, and you are listening to A Matter of Perspective on WVGS 91.9 The Buzz, located in Statesboro, Georgia. I just want to go ahead and start the show by introducing myself, and to those listening and to those watching online. So, I'm Mick Miller, and this is the first radio show that I've ever been a part of. I'm from Cairo, Georgia, and I have 3 younger brothers. I'm a senior majoring in multimedia, film and production with a journalism minor, and I've spent the first half of my life in Bradenton, Florida, and the last half in Cairo, Georgia, where I graduated from Cairo High, home of the Cairo High School syrup makers. I started off here at Georgia Southern with as an engineering major, and I was on track to go to Georgia Tech, but found that I wanted to be more creative right now. I wanted to see the creativity that I wanted. I wanted to see it. So I switched to multimedia film and production a few years ago, and I can honestly say that I'm in the right spot right now, for sure. I think that I'm in the right spot. I like documentary filmmaking, and this major has allowed me to even explore other areas such as radio, such as photojournalism and podcasts with journalism classes. And it's all intertwined. It's all weirdly intertwined, but I really enjoy it. I really, really enjoy it. For my free time, I like to travel and play basketball and play guitar. Whenever I do get to travel, I've always got my camera and I'm always taking pictures. So with this radio show, A Matter of Perspective, I want to keep you up to date. I want to keep the listeners and viewers up to date with current events ranging from global issues to local achievements as well. I'm already looking forward to next week's show because I'll have a few special guests on the show, A Matter of Perspective. And they have already achieved such a great deal of success while attending Georgia Southern University. So stay tuned for next week. It's going to be a really good show. We're going to have a lot of people in here and a lot of different opinions on maybe where this major should go, maybe some future plans for maybe some clubs. We'll see. But right now, I'm going to go ahead and play a few songs for you guys. And after the few songs play, I'll bring some top stories and news. You guys are listening to A Matter of Perspective with Mick Miller. All right, welcome back. You are listening to Mick Miller on A Matter of Perspective. I want to keep you up to date with some of the current events, so here are the top stories for today. First, I want to talk about the Supreme Court case that struck down the Texas abortion restrictions. A number of abortion clinics in Texas were projected to drop to only regions within the larger metropolitan areas. The decision was 5-3 against it. The Supreme Court found that these restrictions in Texas, including requiring doctors to have admitting privileges at nearby hospitals and for clinics to meet standards of ambulatory surgical centers, those are just examples. The undue burden statement was the real decider. And with this Supreme Court decision to strike down these restrictions in Texas, I feel that they made the right decision because if Texas was allowed to do this, then why wouldn't other states do this? In other news, shaken by Britain's vote to quit the European Union leaders met to see what can be done to fix this mess. Although the U.S. economy doesn't seem to take a big hit, Britain and the rest of Europe will. The EU looks to make sure that no other countries follow in the Brexit, the exit of Britain out of the European Union. Volkswagen has agreed to pay about $15 billion to settle claims in the U.S. stemming from its diesel emissions cheating scandal. The total will be much higher for Volkswagen once the fines, lawsuits, and criminal investigations from other nations come to terms as well. The winningest coach in Division I basketball, Pat Summitt, died. She won more games than anyone in college basketball history. Men or women, she's the best. She's won the most. But in Georgia Southern news, we have some good news coming out of this major, the Multimedia Communications major. A few weeks ago, Terminus, which is a film festival run by Campus Movie Fest, was in Atlanta, and Laura Hudson took home the award for Best Documentary. Her documentary was called Southern Mentality, and it tells the story of a woman who survived from sex trafficking. I watched it. It was actually really good. In Statesboro sports news, Justin Houston of the Kansas City Chiefs hosted his youth football camp at Statesboro High School last Saturday, and it brought out about 250 youth football players. And lastly, Dr. Jamie Hebert will take over as president of Georgia Southern University in a few days. He will officially take over on July 1st. Dr. Hebert was first named the future president of GSU in April. We'll be back with some sports talk. I'm going to talk about some NBA free agents and Euro 2016 as well. So stay tuned. You're listening to Mick Miller on A Matter of Perspective. Alright, and here we are back in the studio. You are listening to A Matter of Perspective with Mick Miller. And now I'm going to talk about some sports. So in Euro 2016, England lost to Iceland. Iceland has been such a big story. They beat England 2-1. I think Iceland's going to go pretty far. They've already won in the round of 16, so they've only got a few more games to win it all. When I was watching the match, the goalie, they were saying that the goalkeeper was a part-time filmmaker, and I think the coach also had a part-time job. It was pretty ridiculous. These guys have part-time jobs. Iceland, go Iceland. In NBA, free agency is the biggest thing right now, and we have a few big free agents on the market, starting with Kevin Durant, LeBron James, even though I don't think he's going to go anywhere. LeBron's probably going to stay in Cleveland. LeBron should stay in Cleveland. But then we also have Andre Drummond, Hassan Whiteside. But definitely Kevin Durant and Hassan Whiteside will probably make a move. They'll probably be with a different team next season. If I could guess where Kevin Durant will be next year, I would have to say San Antonio. I think he would go to San Antonio. I think they have all the pieces, and that would make them a Western Conference Finals contender next season. And man, if I was offered anything at San Antonio, I would go. Pop will make that guy. Will make Kevin Durant the best ever. All right, and I think that's going to be it for the NBA and the Euro 2016. Keep a close eye on Iceland, for real. Iceland is going to be an upset. They're probably going to upset a few more people, a few more teams. So just keep that in mind. Keep it in mind. And I'm going to go ahead and play some music. You guys are listening to A Matter of Perspective. All right, welcome back, and you are listening to A Matter of Perspective, and I'm your host, Mick Miller, and today was my first radio show ever, and I'm kind of disappointed in the show. I thought it was going to be a little easier than this. I thought I was going to have more to talk about. And I ended up not really having a lot to talk about, which is kind of sad if I wanted to be a radio host. But it's okay. I'm sure more shows, more practice. I think I'll be better every time. I just want you guys to know that I'm on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Just search Mick Miller and you'll find my face. You will find my face. That's me. Definitely comment on this. I hope that next shows are going to be better than this. And if you guys are listening, I'm really glad you guys stuck with me. This was harder than I thought. Way harder than I thought. So it is 3 minutes till the top of the hour. And I'm going to go ahead and end the show now. You guys have been listening to A Matter of Perspective with Mick Miller. You guys have a great day.